Hey, you're watching Liquid Lunch on Biz TV. I'm Frank Morano. Welcome to a Thirsty Thursday edition of Liquid Lunch. Now, I am currently without a drink. Hopefully, that is a situation I'll be able to remedy by hour two. But if it's not, something tells me it's not the worst thing in the world if I spend a couple of hours each day sober, which is more than many of us have been doing from time to time during this pandemic. Now, there's a ton of interesting news happening from coast to coast, shore to shore, out of DC. There's a ton of interesting news happening that's going to affect your life. But we're actually very lucky in that one of the biggest stories in the country right now is actually happening just blocks from where both John Tobacco and I am sitting right now. Now, what am I talking about? Now, you know that New York has been at the epicenter of this coronavirus pandemic. You know that New York City and New York State have more coronavirus infections than any place on earth, at least as of now. And you know that because of that, we have one of the most severe lockdowns of anywhere in the country. So, what does that mean? It means so far, as of the numbers that the governor just gave this morning, hospitalizations from COVID-19 have fallen to a new low based on where we were at the beginning of this crisis, and deaths, which fell to a low yesterday of only 73 in the last 24 hours. And again, a lot of good it does if you're one of those 73 people or a family member or a friend of one of those 73. It's just as tragic for you as when there were 5,000 people dying. But what this means, and we're at 73 again today, so the death number, which had cratered to a new low yesterday, has remained flat. What that means is a lot of people are particularly eager to open up their businesses. But at least here in New York City, we're not able to do that. Now, so first we tried to work with the governor's criteria. When I say we, I mean Staten Island, the community, and our elected officials, because the governor set up 7 criteria, most of which I think are pretty good, about what different counties and different regions of the state are going to have to do before they reopen. It includes vacant hospital beds. It includes decreasing transmissions and things of that sort. But Staten Island has met all of those criteria. So Staten Island's elected officials say, look, we recognize that the rest of New York City hasn't met the criteria yet, but can't we in Staten Island open up? The governor very nicely, maybe not so nicely, said no. Staten Island is going to be bound by the same rules as the rest of New York City. So now what you're seeing, and this is why what's happening today, and we hope to go live to there shortly, what's happening today is so significant. Businesses, quote unquote, non-essential businesses, at least according to the governor and the mayor, they're saying, tough. We believe we can open up responsibly. We have customers that want to patronize us. And more importantly, we have our own families to feed and our staff has families to feed. So what we're going to do shortly, a little bit later, John Tobacco is at the scene of Sunbelievable, a tanning salon, a quote unquote non-essential business, which is reopening right now, even as we speak, in violation of the governor and the mayor's order. The mayor indicated just this morning that he's going to send the sheriff's office down there, cowboy hats, spurs on their shoes, tumbleweed and all, to fine any business that refuses to shut down. But the reality of the situation is, those of you watching at home or wherever you happen to be watching this know, the reality of the situation is all of these restrictions, all of these laws are only as good as a population that will follow them and law enforcement entities that will enforce them. So we're going to get into that throughout the course of the show. Coming up next, a lot of people wondering what's happening with the economy, not only the American economy, but how it relates to what we're doing with China. We're fortunate enough to have one of the best experts, Tom Keogh. He'll join us next here on Liquid Lunch. I'm Frank Morano. See you in a few minutes.